to enter one of the most daunting venues in USL League One in just its first season. It's AC Boise and FC Naples here on CBS Sports when we come back. Just about set for kickoff between AC Boise and FC Naples, and the newest supporter group in USL League One, the River Guard, has been phenomenal, setting the tone, setting the atmosphere, bringing the noise in what has been just an incredible start to their journey here in the American soccer pyramid. And the River Guard have been at the forefront of what this club has been trying to accomplish in the outset in their first 7 games, and have been able to do just that. It's 6th place AC Boise and 4th place FC Naples. In just a few moments' time, Tyler Terrence along with Ricky Lopez-Espin. Glad to have you with us as we take a look at the starting 11 for Nate Miller. And it's going to be Dennis Kostachin that everybody's going to have their eyes on. But make no mistake about it, that the local boy and local product, Blake Bodley, is really the straw that stirs the drink.
That middle third for this Boise side is going to be really influential for Nate Miller. Charlie Adams and Philip Mayakini do a really good job at understanding when to push a tempo and be really quick and try to be a little bit more transitional versus this FC Naples side, because Bodley and Ricketts are going to give you work rate on either side of the ball. The width is important because that opens up space centrally that you can play in between lines.
And on the other side of the ball for Matt Poland, how about young 18-year-old Josh Israel Grant from Lauderhill, Florida, is going to get his first professional appearance in between the sticks for Naples tonight.
So the players in front of him need to do a really good job at just getting him settled, getting him confident, and expect this FC Naples side to maybe when they do get on the ball, play a ball back into his feet. But that back line of 5 for Matt Poland needs to do a really good job at staying compact and keeping the game in front of them. Defensively is going to be the foundation for FC Naples.
So we'll take a look at the weather here in Boise tonight, because temperature-wise, it's gorgeous. You wouldn't really think anything of it, but the flag is whipping, and they're currently in a wind advisory right now in this part of the country. 15-mile-an-hour winds. It was about 25 miles per hour about 30 minutes ago, so we'll see just how much that's going to play an effect on these two sides and what they're going to try to be able to accomplish. Naples, very good against the ball. They do like to have it at their feet from time to time. Meanwhile, AC Boise under Nate Miller, very identifiable style that people love to watch in their opening 7 games of their tenure here in USL League One. As we invite you to turn off the world and turn on the game. We are live from AC Boise Stadium in Treasure Valley. It is Boise and FC Naples for 3 points. Again, Tyler Terrence along with USL vet Ricky Lopez-Espin. Boise having already played 7 games in the league. FC Naples winless in their last 5. Boise are unbeaten at home. They've turned this into a fortress of sorts, although they still haven't welcomed the best and the brightest of League One. And right off the bat, Blake Bodley of Eagle, Idaho, getting an early touch on the ball. And this is a Nate Miller-led side, Ricky, that during his tenure with San Diego, having worked under Pablo Mastroeni at Real Salt Lake, he's just got such an identifiable style that people love to sort of attach themselves to. They like to have the ball. They press high up the field. They break lines just like they're doing right now. And they're creating the first opportunity of the evening as Bodley trying to go around the defender. There was some contact right outside of the penalty area. No call from the referee, and an early delivery goes over everyone and everything. Out of play for a goal kick. But Ricky, with all that in mind, how do we see this one shaking out with Boise entering a 4-game homestand and Naples trying to put an end to what has been a pretty dreadful run on the road coming off that loss against Spokane this weekend?
Well, it's two different identities for Nate Miller and AC Boise. It's a side that, like you mentioned, Tyler, they want to get on the ball. They want to dictate the game. They want to take the game to FC Naples, especially in the first 10 to 15 minutes, trying to impose their identity. If they're successful in doing that, they'll put pressure on this Naples side. And for Matt Poland, it's really simple. You have to not allow the home side to get in a rhythm. So expect Naples to be aggressive, trying to make this game a stop and start type of game, not allowing them to get in a rhythm.
Philip Mayaka and Charlie Adams have been the midfield pairing that Nate Miller has really fallen in love with. Charlie Adams, of course, was his captain for several years at San Diego. Philip Mayaka was somebody that he's admired in the middle of the park for quite some time now. And it was a tough result against the Charlotte Independents for Boise, and Nate Miller feeling like they let one get away. Wasn't exactly pleased with the performance. Felt like the first half in particular was not representative of how this group likes to play. As Naples with their first foray into Boise territory on the night. And it's just out of the reach of Ian Settle, the 29-year-old originally from Florida, moved to Aurora, Colorado for his more formative years.
Now you just see once FC Naples does lose control of the ball, they're trying to regain it as quickly as they possibly can, trying to be aggressive within the first 3 seconds of losing the ball, trying to gain real estate high up the field. So if you are this Boise side and you have the ability to bypass an initial line of pressure just like this, you'll find success.
Well, the river guard is directly behind the 18-year-old Josh Grant. And they're going to be letting him have it for the first 45 minutes of this game. Let's get a look at Nick Moon, 29-year-old from Waukesha, Wisconsin. And there is the river guard. And they are locked in for all 90 minutes. It's not a supporters group that's just wondering when the next beverage is going to come, but they are really living and dying with every moment on the field. FC Naples, of course, coming off of a really successful inaugural season in 2025 under Matt Poland, first USL One expansion side to reach the postseason in league history. Ended up getting knocked out in the semifinals after a big first-round upset against Chattanooga. Lost to 1 Knoxville, and that's more or less becoming a theme as of late against Ian Fuller's side. They really have taken a beating every time that they've been squared up against 1 Knoxville. Most recently, about 10 days ago, ended up being a 3-0 result for a Knoxville side, of course, that captured the imaginations of everyone who's a fan of a cup set in the U.S. Open Cup, having beaten DC United, ended up losing to the Columbus Crew. But last time we checked, Knoxville were actually losing to Union Omaha by a score of 2-1 in stoppage time. Error pass in the middle of the field that's taken over by Nick Moon.
And just see how quickly FC Naples is getting numbers behind the ball. I expect a lot of this throughout the 90 minutes here. That Boise is going to see the majority of possession, be really patient, but when they do penetrate through lines, they need to do it extremely quick at creating overloads, whether it is centrally or higher up the field.
Charlie Adams thought about it, sending it into the channel. Instead, we'll recycle through Philip Mayaka. Good interplay here from Boise. And that's Bodley coming all the way over from left side of the field and trying to make something happen, but out of play for another goal kick. And Matt Poland in his second season in charge of FC Naples, just 34 years of age, originally from Rochester, Minnesota. And believe it or not, he actually was coached by Nate Miller, his opposing coach tonight, in college, and those two go way back. As there's a turnover from Naples, Moon lays it off, and then a first-time effort. There's a wild one from Blake Bodley, and he sends it into the river guard.
I really love the patience here from Nick Moon, understanding that Naples does have a lot of numbers in behind the ball. So as you put your foot on it, this allows Blake Bodley to come up right on top of that 18-yard box, but notice his shoulders when he does approach it. Just tries to swing for the fences, tries to do a little bit too much. But on the front foot, Nate Miller has to be pleased 7 minutes in with the start from his side.
And everything to play for his group, coming off of a difficult loss on the road against a Mike Jeffries-led Charlotte Independent side that has some good pieces and definitely some threatening elements, particularly in the middle of the field. John Piccaro's been playing well, but felt like they left one out on the field and trying to make sure that they are not going to suffer their first loss tonight at home here at AC Boise Stadium. Here's Jake Dangler going up against his former club. Going for Jake Krull. Now Moon. And this is clipped towards the back stick. Brought down along the back post. Opportunity here, and it's smashed in. Fantastic start for Boise. And it's Thomas Among with his first of the season.
It starts with the flexibility for Boise, the ability to be in a three-back. That allows Nick Moon to provide the width. And as you shift this FC Naples side, Charlie Adams does a wonderful job at just clipping this thing to the back post. But give credit to Ricketts, the composure there. So impressive to take his first touch off of his chest and then notice where he looks. Right on top of that 6-yard box. Among, thank you very much. Unmarked. Probably the easiest goal of his professional career. And a dream start here at AC Boise Stadium for the home side.
Well, he's another one of those former Nate Miller boys from San Diego. He had 6 goals and 2 assists with New Mexico last year in the USL Championship. And you were just sort of wondering when he was going to get going, because he was one of those players that was brought in along with a lot of this roster, Ricky, where there were just some really big names and guys who have experience at a high level. But finally getting his first, and you talked about the easy nature of that goal. Meanwhile, if you're Josh Grant, the 18-year-old who's hopping in your first professional game, giving up a goal inside of the first 8 minutes, obviously not his fault by any stretch of the imagination, but the composure over on the far stick, and then the finish from Thomas Among, as easy as you like.
Next 5 minutes here for Matt Poland and company, crucial to not let this thing get out of hand, to not allow FC Boise to get their second. So just taking this sting out of the stadium and getting confidence, settling into this game, crucial for the visiting side.
Now this is laid off at the edge of the area, and that was a really good effort. It was Luca Mastrantonio. Or pardon me, it might have been Kevin O'Connor.
Yeah, wonderful work off the ball from O'Connor, and that's the kind of quality that he gives you. Starting deeper, the ability to crash on top of that 18-yard box.
Nick Moon trying to skip his way past Taylor Gray, who's filling in at the wingback position. Here's Moon again, who has found himself in acres of space basically every single time he's touched the ball. Slipping it through, Bodley in front of the river guard with an early delivery. Cut out by Naples for the moment. Timely step on that back line from Jake Dangler. Man who captained FC Naples in their inaugural season. This pass fizzed into dangerous spot of the field and a late challenge, and the referee, no type of tolerance for that sort of challenge, and it is going to be a yellow card. And it's Kevin O'Connor who goes into the book.
Not what you want from out pull and a player of that influence. Notice the left boot, how high it comes, and studs are exposed and catches. Toss the shin here. Deserving of a yellow card, so a big test in terms of the discipline and positioning for O'Connor for the remainder of this match.
Kevin O'Connor.
O'Connor, the captain for this Naples side, 31-year-old, originally from Wexford, Ireland. Came over from FC Motown in USL League Two ahead of the inaugural season last year. Spent most of his career in the lower divisions of England as well as Ireland. Boise are really hammering this left-hand side of their attack, and the right-hand side of the FC Naples defense is once again Bodily trying to go quickly. Intervention from Dangler. And Naples trying to gain some sort of control in the middle of the park, but once again it's Boise coming away with the ball and clean possession. They're averaging about 100 passes more per game than their opponent tonight. Crow into the channel. And Bodily is sealed off. Naples disrupted again as they're trying to build out of the back. And it'll stay with AC Boise.
If Boise is going to step and they're going to be aggressive, there's nothing wrong for FC Naples just to play a little bit more direct, especially with how this game has gone through the first 13 minutes. Just push the game higher, gain some real estate high up the field, because the last thing that you want is to sloppily give the ball back over.
And Naples with an opportunity to breathe on the ball. Haven't won in more than a month. Their last win coming on April 11th. They've lost games both in Prince Tire's USL Cup, US Open Cup to Orlando City, and then back-to-back losses in league play against the likes of Spokane as well as one Knoxville. And the schedule has not been kind to them at this juncture of the season, as this is fizzed in towards Cerro. Back out wide for Taylor Gray. He's playing the right wing-back position now with Max Glasser having retired last week. And this long-range effort coming in from Ada Macias, and it's not a terrible idea. And it's always difficult to come in as the head coach of a brand new project, but Nate Miller's story is a fascinating one, because the ownership at AC Boise called him knowing that he probably wasn't going to take the position while he was an assistant at RSL. They called him sort of to say, we love you, or we admire you, but at the same time, we would totally understand if you wouldn't want to come now in the first season in the third division, coming from an MLS assistant role. And they were sort of hoping to just connect and maybe hire him a couple of years down the line. And it turned out that it ended up being the perfect time in Nate Miller's life for him and his family to pick up a move from Salt Lake City to this part of the country here in the Treasure Valley. And Nate Miller could not be more thrilled with both how this has started, what this has sort of turned into, a bit of a soccer monster. Again, Ricky, in a part of the country that I don't think you could have most soccer fans either point to it on a map, A, or B, think that it was going to sort of capture the soul and the imagination of this community so quickly.
They've done a fantastic job, especially off the field, dipping to the community, giving something that these fans can really be proud of, but also that translates to the success on the field. Every single time that you see this Boise side step on the field, they're going to give you effort. They're going to give you a clear indication of what it means to represent this city. And you and I had the ability to speak with Nate Miller, and he was really open and really honest with us, saying that he is enjoying life, his family's enjoying life, and everything from the ownership group down has been professional here at AC Boise.
Long ball over the top, difficult to handle, but handled with ease by Cisneros, the 24-year-old from just outside of Chicago.
And earlier, Tyler, you mentioned that this Boise side is really penetrating down their left-hand side, their right side for FC Naples, and that is because you see two players that are playing out of position. Gray is a out-and-out winger. He's playing as a wingback because you mentioned the retirement of Matt Glasser, but Reyes as well on the ball right now. He plays centrally normally, so that tells you how thin this Naples side is defensively. So there is a lot of rotation. There is a lot of players that are starting to learn things on the fly here. And you've seen it in the first 16 minutes. Boise's really caused some issues on this near side of your screen.
Great little turn in the middle of the park from Kevin O'Connor, and the Irishman able to free some space up. Now it's Andres Farin on the turn. Cisneros. It's a dangerous ball into that corridor of uncertainty, but Dangler's able to handle it. This is the first real sign of life from FC Naples as Matt Poland's group starting to find their footing in this game, but Boise with the lead thanks to the first goal of the season from Thomas Among. And one of the easiest finishes you're going to see all season, probably in any division in the American soccer pyramid. And speaking of this AC Boise ownership, and that was a big reason why Nate Miller took the job when he did, was they have big aspirations in terms of the divisions that lie ahead of them and perhaps the divisions that don't even exist yet within the USL pyramid. So it really is going to be fascinating to see what they're going to do here in Treasure Valley in the years to come, because they have already established themselves as one of the premier destinations in this league, and they're only about 8 or 9 games in all competitions into their tenure.
Not shy about communicating it as well, right? With the ability to speak with Nate Miller and some of the front office saying the aspirations and motivation to continue to push up and progress this club as a whole. And you hear Nate Miller here at the sideline saying that this Naples side has shifted into a 4-back, so that gives you a little bit more of that structure and comfortability for the visiting side, because like we've mentioned, the first 20 minutes here, all one-way traffic. So now a little bit to steady the ship for Matt Poland and company.
Charlie Adams, the tempo dictator in the middle of the park. And FC Naples happy to sort of draw the line of confrontation about 10 yards in front of AC Boise's own penalty area. And now they're starting to press further up the field with a couple of negative passes being the triggers. And that's probably the best defensive sequence we've seen from Naples thus far.
Now the responsibilities are clear, right? Because these players understand what it's like to be in a 4-2-3-1. Reyes will play at the right back. Gray will play and he's more natural of a winger. So the roles are well more defined and players are more comfortable, as seen in that last action defensively.
Well, this is quite the road trip that Matt Poland's group is enduring at the moment, making the trip from Southwest Florida all the way to Spokane, Washington, losing a tight 2-1 game to Spokane, obviously who's been one of the better teams in the league for the past couple of years, but then having to immediately, on a short turnaround with just 3 days rest, come to Treasure Valley and go up against a side that's challenging for one of the top 4 spots in the league as well. And that's a good recovery run over on the far side of the pitch from Musa Ndai. Stays with the visitors though. Gray thought about delivery. Instead will keep it. Cerro. He's looking to tee it up. Finds a good avenue to shoot. It's straight into the hands of Jonathan Cleaver. But slowly but surely, FC Naples starting to find a little bit of momentum and a little bit of rhythm here in the City of Trees.
Settle really important to how Naples like to attack the game. He can play in between lines, a wand of a left foot, and really good composure shown with that last action, not to take the first option, but really take the second and have a nice shot on target, forcing an easy save for Cleaver.
Well, our crowd mics are positioned so perfectly that you can hear every single emotion that Nate Miller is experiencing, and you can hear that he was trying to motion to Jonathan Cleaver to pick out Nick Moon, but instead going through the anxiety that most head coaches go through during the course of 90 minutes.
Bottom of your screen, you can see the hands of Nate Miller signaling that he's looking for this big switch, because what he wants is to draw Naples to one side of the field and quickly change a point of attack, because you have two outside backs that are really dynamic in terms of their 1v1 ability in Ricketts and Nick Moon.
Crowd wasn't particularly happy with that challenge coming in from Tristan Rose, the 23-year-old from Cortland, Ohio. Played at the University of Charleston before eventually transferring to college powerhouse Maryland. Played every minute for the Terps last season. He's a rookie in the professional sense of the word. Actually won a Division II national title at Charleston as well. Moon surveying his options. Now Blake Bodley. And Dangler directing traffic. Adams. Krull. Bodley on the turn. Thomas Among dropping deep, the goal scorer in the 8th minute. The skipper Adams once more.
Big touch.
Among with a really clever touch, and he's able to bait the defender into a challenge, and Among thought that he probably should have won a free kick.
It's a really good no call actually here, because Torres does step in. Initially, there's not a lot of contact. Now, does the arm come across and catch Among? Don't see much in that whatsoever. As you see, doesn't take kindly to it. Torres knows exactly what Among's trying to do.
Well, it's difficult to tell from our angles whether or not Torres' foot perhaps clipped just the back of Thomas Among. And those two discussing the best places to perhaps go and get a steak in the Treasure Valley area. Macias. Backstein. Good switch of play. Ferin. Clever little entry pass, and this one is just over the crossbar. And that was probably the best team move we've seen thus far from the visitors.
So much better from Naples once they've gone into a double pivot role and you have Settle playing ahead of them, because now there's a real connection between Backstein and Settle. Trying to manipulate the positioning of Charlie Adams. That opens up the space centrally so you can go wide to come back centrally. Really good action for Matt Pohl inside. Starting to find a little bit of a rhythm on the ball here.
But as they progress further up the field, that means a little bit more space for the home side to play. As Nick Moon wanted it back, it goes back out wide. And this one towards the back stick, and the 18-year-old making his first professional appearance is able to handle it. And I think that that's the first time he's actually touched the ball with his hands tonight so far. And you typically want to get that first touch out of the way when you're making your professional debut.
You and I were speaking ahead of the lineups coming out, and you said we wouldn't be surprised if we saw Naples just pop a ball back into Grant, get his feet underneath him, get his ability to settle the nerves.
And with Among being offside, he has to let that run out of play for a goal kick. Somehow the ball actually stayed in play. A lot of contact, and the referee, Denny Kulasinik, is going to blow for a foul in favor of FC Naples, and that's Dennis Kostashin, who's down for Boise. Reigning USL League One Player of the Month in April. Already with 4 goals this year.
But only 5 touches through the 30 minutes of this match. You need to get him a little bit more involved here. It's a good double by Naples as Rose and Cisneros do a good job at just dropping deep and making life difficult. But just notice right now how deep the CS and O'Connor are sitting. What that's doing, that's pulling out Charlie Adams, and that's actually pulling out Philip Mayaka as well. And that's exactly why we're starting to see Backstein drop into that half space, get the ball in the half turn, and start to find a little bit of a rhythm going forward for Naples.
Philip Mayaka, who Nate Miller loves to be able to cover the ground that perhaps Charlie Adams can't. Found a really good balance between the piano player and Adams and the piano lifter and Philip Mayaka, to use the old adage. McMoon and company claiming that ball went out of play, and it's back to Boise. And you're playing a little catch with Kostashin, and that's not a half bad idea for Blake Bodley. Thumbs up of approval to his teammate. And you with a cool head. Now Mayaka. Among. This is some really attractive stuff from Nate Miller's group. Now wide to Nick Moo, matched up 1v1. Looking to run right at Torres, stood up towards the back post. It's a good ball, and Ricketts on the first time scuffed it. And eventually cleared away. Not out of trouble yet though, Naples. Mayaka. Kroll needs to be careful here, and he gets fouled by Gray.
What we've seen with Nate Miller, it's all about creating a numerical overload and isolating the wide parts of the field, because Nick Moon is just so good and so explosive in terms of his 1v1 ability. Phenomenal ball to this back post. If you are Jonathan Ricketts, you're going to want this one back. And as Gray just drops the shoulder into Kroll here, another opportunity for Charlie Adams to whip this thing into the mixer and cause a little bit of chaos right in front of Grant, the goalkeeper for Naples.
Talk about exactly the type of football that Nate Miller wants to be playing. That's one wing back crossing it to another wing back inside of the penalty area. Adams. Good looking ball. And it's a whistle against Boise.
So with how expansive Boise is, if you are Matt Poland, the responsibility from your 2 center backs, Rose and Mastrantonio, need to do a good job at recognizing when their outside backs are isolated, and they need to provide a little bit more coverage in terms of their rotation, because so many times Cisneros and Torres are getting beat 1v1, and that's putting more pressure on Grant and the 2 center backs.
By the way, I don't know if people have picked up on it yet, but Thomas Among with the lone goal. Arguably one of the best goal songs going right now in America in any division, period. Running the guitar solo from Freebird by Leonard Skinner is just next level stuff.
I thought you were about to start singing.
No. Kevin O'Connor settling things down for the visitors.
Again, right side of your screen, notice the amount of space off the shoulder of number 6, Charlie Adams. So if you can have a pocket presence for Naples, you're going to find success in doing that. And Boise needs to do a better job at when they do press with that front line, that back line needs to stay connected. You cannot allow that space to open up.
Ferin trying to connect the dots, and Dangler had to come sweeping over to make the play. Ferin in his second season now with Naples. Came over from Once Caldas in Colombia. Actually had the first goal in Naples history as well, as Nick Moon is trying to score his second goal tonight. Options to his left and right, trying to go straight up the middle. But it's out of the reach of Kostashin.
That's a wrong decision there for Nick Moon, and he knows it. As Kostashin makes that run from centrally and pulls out Mastrantoni, that's when you need to cut centrally, because that is when that space actually opens up. So using that run almost as a decoy to open up space for your second option would be the better opportunity there for Nick Moon. Really good ball here.
And a curling effort. Never really had the interest of Jonathan Cleaver, who's making his 5th consecutive start. And Boise, of course, want to have possession, want to have the ball at their feet, and are going to play out of the back yet again from a goal kick. That's Nate Miller telling the referee that he's killing him. Not getting the foul call on Thomas Among.
Killian, what are we doing? You saw the hug? You can't grab around his back.
Yeah, Nate Miller is gesturing towards the 4th official that you can't grab around the attacking player's back. But if anybody watched the Arsenal-West Ham game several days ago, I'd argue that you are allowed to do that. And they ended up giving a yellow card to Andres Ferin here.
As Ricketts is in the corner, there's no need to engage in any contact. Yes, it's light, but if you put 2 hands on the back of a player, they're going to go down every single time, and this is why he gets a yellow. It's a conversation after. But Denny Kulisinek, that gets him in trouble. Second player in the book for Naples here.
So now it's Kevin O'Connor and Andres Ferin, arguably 2 of the more important attacking players who are on yellow cards, and this is long ball sent the other way, collected by the 18-year-old Josh Grant. Only real playing experience that Josh Grant has had recently whatsoever has been some caps with the U20 Jamaican national team. He actually was invited to train with the senior national team in the full-blown Reggae Boys in 2025, but never made an appearance for them either. Having spent time at the MLS Next Pro level with both Red Bulls as well as Real Salt Lake, he never appeared for either one of them. Sent away by Krull. Touched along by Backstein. Gray will hang on to it. And now O'Connor with options. Julian Cisneros, product of Loyola Chicago. One back by Ricketts. And Enya will go all the way back for Cleaver. Among will give chase. It's about 10 minutes remaining in the first half. Has this game unfolded so far in terms of how you might have predicted it would?
Well, the game has definitely changed after Naples went to that 4 back, because they seem a lot more comfortable. The gaps aren't as big. But if you are Nate Miller, you're seeing a lot of the ball. Now you need to get that second goal to give you a little bit of breathing room. But defensively, Matt Polo needs to be pleased with what he's seen from his side after conceding that really easy goal. a little bit more stern in their positioning, a little bit more compact, and just seem that much more, again, silly foul here from Farine.
Yeah, this is a really dangerous set-piece opportunity now for the home side. And Farine, over the past few minutes or so, has really lost his head, and they need him to stay in the game.
Just no need to engage in any contact here for Farine. The right leg comes across. As you have a player, Macias, right there, no need.
So it's Mayaka and Charlie Adams standing over it. Boise looking to make it 2 before the halftime break. Adams putting it on frame. It's a good effort, and it's just over. It looked like Graham might have gotten a touch to it.
It's a wonderful strike from Charlie Adams here. A wand of a left foot to go up and over the wall and really test Grant towards this near post. I think it was the top of the net. But you just see how quickly that ball goes up to come down, in nearly a spectacular goal for the captain of Boise.
Came up to the Brentford Academy, made 4 appearances for the Bees at the senior level. Of course, was with Louisville City in 2015, spent some time back in England at Stevenage. Then he was a part of that really, really solid Real Marnik side under Mark Briggs back in 2017-18, and then spent some time in Orange County, 3rd division in Austria, before eventually spending a few years with Landon Donovan and Nate Miller at San Diego Loyal.
This is important here for Naples. Looking at Baxine as the intended target, trying to catch Boise off of their shape.
It's too close to Cleaver in the end, and he wants to go quickly. You know, Kostashin tasked with trying to hold it up, but Cisneros has been good so far tonight. And that's a late little nip from Kostashin, and he might go into the book here. Well, it looks like it's just going to be a stern talking to. And yep. Kroll rolling the dice a little bit, going all the way back for Dangler. And now trying to find an outlet in Thomas Among. And now Charlie Adams, and he cleverly is able to win the free kick, sensing that the pressure was coming from Luca Mastrantonio, who, by the way, is coming off of his first goal of the season against Spokane with an absolute belter on the first time from about 22 yards out. Arguably one of the goals of the season so far in League One.
Just a luxury to have Mastrantonio at the heart of the back line for Naples. About the physical attributes, but really comfortable on the ball. Good pocket here.
Yeah, it was intended for Blake Bodley, but just behind him. And AC Boise have struggled to get on the ball consistently and find that rhythm again over the past 5 minutes or so. Gray going through the legs of the defender Kroll and wins the free kick. And what an odd sequence of events over the past week or so for Matt Poland and FC Naples with the retirement of Max Glasser. It's not like we haven't seen that sort of thing before, where a player retires so early at just 25 years of age. However, it does leave them in a really tough spot, and not for nothing, but Glasser was a really important piece of this group and had just scored a huge goal in the 87th minute against Hearts of Pines to get a really important point.
Combine that with injuries as well, right? For Matt Poland, it's the ability to shuffle the deck, see who is comfortable to play at this right back position. Because Glasser gave you just so much, not only on the ball, but off the ball. The work rate as well, the ability to provide quality service. So you have a player like Torres, who, like I mentioned earlier, is more of a central player that wants to get on the ball, playing a lot of times isolated 1v1 defending against Nick Moon. That's not an easy thing to do. So there is a lot of rotation for Matt Poland. And so far, they've done a good job second part of this first half.
Still with problems to deal with from the set pieces. Adams' free kick was a decent one. Grant goes amongst the trees and is able to pick it out. And he distributes quickly, challenging Mayaka, who's not exactly an aerial threat. Nate Miller urging Kroll to play it early down the line for Moon. Kept it in play. It'll be a throw-in for the home side. Big Italian center back Mastrantonio, 29 years of age, originally from Rome. Came over from AV Alta this year. Spent a couple of years at Union Omaha under Dom Casciato. Of course, went over to Tampa Bay midway through last year and doing wonders with the Rowdies now.
These are areas that AC Boise needs to play a little bit quicker. The tempo needs to be higher because you cannot allow Naples to get in their defensive set, because as we've seen, they're very good when they are compact.
Mayaka striding forward and drawing some attention. Enya cutting off the challenge from Cisneros. Kroll coming all the way inside. Clemson product Mayaka again. And Adams breaking two lines, but not finding the feet of a comrade, and it rolls all the way back to Josh Grant.
Coming into this game, Matt Poland said the #1 key defensively is not allow Boise to play through us, rather around us. And again, it goes back to the formation change that we've seen within 15 minutes of this match. Gone to a 4-back, and there's been no success for Boise to play in between lines. A lot of their actions have been through Nick Moon in terms of his isolation 1v1.
Dangler rolls it along for Moon. And it's a miscommunication from Naples because it's too much time and space for Blake Bodley, and he's able to win a corner.
You see the frustration there for Rose, saying there needs to be communication, there needs to be rotation. You cannot allow Torres and Gray both players get caught ball watching, and that allows Bodley to be extremely free providing service in.
Certainly a lot to talk about for Matt Poland at the halftime break, but they need to get away from this set piece opportunity unscathed. Riverguard hoping for the opposite as this is clipped towards the back stick. Intended target is Dangler, straight down. Grant spilled it, but eventually is able to collect. Well, the Riverguard providing the commentary from behind Josh Grant, and giving Jake Dangler a middle name that I do not think was on his birth certificate. I don't know that for a fact. Another sellout here at AC Boise Stadium. They set a record for deposits ahead of a season. They had close to 7,000 for tickets throughout the course of the 2026 season, as everybody could not wait to get a piece of the newest show in town. Just 1 minute of stoppage time.
Ladies and gentlemen, stoppage time is brought to you by Diamond Heating and Cooling.
Right now it's Thomas Among's goal in the 8th minute that separates these two sides.
A minute of added time in the first half.
And by the way, that earlier game between Union Omaha and One Knoxville, a battle of two of the best teams over the past couple of years in League One, finished 2-1 in favor of the Owls. Gutierrez and Sergio Orrs had the goal. Orrs' goal in the 84th minute proved to be the game winner.
Big result for Union Omaha at One Knoxville as well.
Had to imagine there was going to be a little bit of a dip following their U.S. Open Cup run as well. And of course, having to balance USL Cup. And that's going to do it for the first half. Thomas Among in the 8th minute. The difference between these two sides, strong performance once again at home in the first half, but still 45 minutes to go. Ricky Lopez-Espin, your thoughts on the first half?
If you are Nate Miller, tempo is going to be top priority in the second 45 minutes. Try to play quick, try to create overloads, and go at this back line for Matt Poland and FC Naples. Again, you need to get things going forward. Back seem really quiet. You struggle defensively. You need to play direct into the big man, and then you can find success and push high up the field.
Well, it's a strong start to what is a 4-game homestand for AC Boise. Meanwhile, Naples with another hill to climb on the road. A long ways away from Southwest Florida. Ricketts to Among in the 8th minute in front of the River Guard, and this place was rocking early. Plenty to talk about as we head to the halftime show here on CBS Sports Network. At the moment, it's AC Boise 1, FC Naples 0. Stay with us.
Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. From the grassroots to the pros, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice.
1977 Ford F-Series became America's best-selling trucks. 33 million trucks later, we've kept that title every year since. And that's a formula we plan on repeating. F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 49 years and counting. And Ford, the most awarded brand for initial quality among trucks by J.D. Power. Ford F-Series, built for time.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the AC Boise video board for tonight's Community Impact Star of the Match.
And I'm the president and CEO for Special Olympics Idaho. I actually have 3 sons with intellectual disabilities, and I got involved to get them involved, and I love the program. I think it is a platform that brings people with intellectual disabilities more opportunities. They're able to, be a part of the community. They gain so many skills and so much confidence being a part of things. Many times what I realize is that people with intellectual and developmental disabilities really want to be a part of something, and sometimes because they don't speak the same as we do or behave the same as we do, they don't get the opportunity. And when given the opportunity, you realize that they are so much the same as we are and that they want the same things. I think it's amazing some of the programming that we do that people don't know about, which we provide full health screenings and health care in 8 different disciplines. We provide grants to schools to put on cool programs like they do.
Back live here in the Treasure Valley in the City of Trees in Boise, Idaho, and it's the home side with a 1-0 lead over FC Naples. Thomas Among with his first goal of the season in the 8th minute. And right now it is the home side with the lead. And it's that time of the year again. We've already played a couple of games in the Prinks Tires USL Cup, and we've got some Group F match coming your way between the Charleston Battery, of course, led by Bed Pyramid, who've been poor as of late, losing 2 out of their last 4 in league play. Meanwhile, don't look now, but the Richmond Kickers have a really slow start in league play, Richie. Have won 3 on the bounce.
Yeah, if you are Bed Pyramid, it's an opportunity that, like you mentioned, the inconsistency within your season, these are the types of games that you need to win to get you back on track, but it's not going to be easy because City Stadium is a really difficult place to play, and it's a really hostile environment.
And here's a look at the upcoming schedule as far as the Prinks Tires USL Cup is concerned. You've got a Battle of Florida between Miami FC and Tampa Bay Rowdies, which should be an excellent game. Meanwhile, Monterey Bay have obviously been really bad in USL Championship. I would not put it past at AC Boise to get something out of that game.
Exactly. AC Boise did go into the Las Vegas Lights in their opening round, and they took that extra point winning on PKs. Open Route Sacramento Republic, that's a game that always has a little bit extra. And this FC Naples side will play against Sporting Jacks, who have struggled in USL Championship League play.
And this is what USL Cup is all about, being able to help create these geographical rivalries and matchups across the 2 divisions. And we are still rolling through the halftime show here at AC Boise Stadium. And it has been a testy one between 2 of the best sides in League One. Stay with us.
Classic of your own from either Idaho Pizza Company concession stands. Idaho Pizza Company, as good as the great outdoors.
Well, it's been a fun one so far in Treasure Valley. AC Boise getting off to a strong start, which they have done at home predominantly throughout the start of their inaugural campaign. And FC Naples, despite a slow start, are still very much in this one to try to steal some sort of points on the road here at AC Boise Stadium. And welcome back into the broadcast booth. Tyler Terrence along with everyone's favorite USL vet, Ricky Lopez-Espin. And for AC Boise, a strong start at home is nothing new. For a team that has such big aspirations and want to be one of the best teams in the league, despite it being their first season, this is the type of game that they have to go and kill off.
You need to win the second half in the first 10 minutes for Nate Miller, understanding that tempo is going to be your best friend. If you can play really quickly and create overloads and isolation, that's going to be your best bet to find success in that second 45 minutes. But for Matt Poland, defensively is where you're going to start in the second half, because that first 50 minutes, Tyler, was terrific for this FC Naples side. You just see the amount of lack of rotations and how easy this is for Nick Moon to pick up his head, find Charlie Adams, and he goes over the net. But this is something to come on a consistent basis for AC Boise.
And it was a strong start from Boise, being able to find space, outwind, find delivery. And again, it's the wingbacks getting forward. And we talked about wingback to wingback play. And that's how this goal really starts, where the ball's going to end up finding Ricketts. This is too much time and space, Ricky, at least for me, to bring it down off your chest. It bounces twice and picks out Thomas Amon.
Not only for you, everyone noticed the first touch from Ricketts to pick up his head. No one closes down the space. No one puts a challenge in. So that allows Ricketts just to find Amon from about 3 yards out. And you just see that is a striker's dream, unmarked.
But that was the worst of it, right? I mean, it was about 10, 12 minutes where FC Naples were running around like they didn't have a clue as to who they were supposed to pick up, but they really settled back into the game.
When they went to a four-back system, the comfortability came into factor for Matt Poland, and you really settled into this game, and you kind of frustrated this AC Boise side. So you see not a lot of the ball, but you were effective. But for Nate Miller in the second 45 minutes, creating overloads and playing quick is going to be the top priority when you come out of the locker room.
And the 18-year-old keeper making his professional debut for FC Naples, Josh Grant, has only had to make one save. One of those shots obviously went in, he could do nothing about. The other one was mighty easy. So if you're AC Boise, why not test the keeper? Meanwhile, Naples very much still in this game, despite the fact that they did not have their best stuff in the opening 15 minutes. But the River Guard, as always, have their best stuff as they will retake their positions to defend the stadium here in Treasure Valley. Second half coming up next. Back here at AC Boise Stadium, and Thomas Among's goal has the River Guard jumping for the moment, but as we all know, there's 90 minutes to play in the second half is just about to get started. Tyler Terrence along with Ricky Lopez-Espin. Glad to have you with us here on CBS Sports Network. And we'll take a look at the travel map presented by Best Western. And Ricky, this is the goal that we saw earlier tonight, and it looks as easy as tic-tac-toe, and it seemed that way.
But notice it starts on the left-hand side, so you draw Naples to go to the weak side, and then you come back across where the Mong with the finishing touch. But notice, a lot of AC Boise's attack have come through Nick Moon, and he plays on the left-hand side, the ability to go 1v1, create overloads. This is the strong side for Nate Miller, and a point of emphasis that they can really test Naples' weak side, which is the right side of defense.
Well, it was blatantly obvious that they were just hammering that side of the field, even from the opening whistle. Thomas Amon being the beneficiary. Meanwhile, Kevin O'Connor and this FC Naples side will certainly have something to say about the proceedings in this second half. An experienced group that suffered a lot of turnover in the offseason, but one that you have to imagine is not going to go quietly into that good Treasure Valley night as the second half is officially underway. Again, big battle as far as the top of the League One standings are concerned. One Knoxville having lost earlier tonight at home to Union Omaha. Boise trying to make good on these games in hand that they have. They have two of them on Naples. They've got one on the majority of the league. And right off the bat, Tareas called for the foul, and it'll stay with AC Boise. So let's go to the visitors and Matt Poland. What's the first thing that he might have said to his team during the halftime talk?
Better the way that you ended that first half. And again, it comes down to the ability to change formations because you gave yourself a structure and a foundation.
This one lobbed towards the back post. Cisneros wasn't sure exactly what was behind him, has to hit the safety valve.
But the second part of that is, yes, you did a good job at settling into this game, but now you need to get something going forward. You need to find Baxine a little bit more, a player with only 10 touches, and he is your target man. He is your number 9. If you can find him a little bit more, then that allows Seto to become a little bit more influential, and those two players are the key to everything going forward for the visiting side.
So an early corner for Boise. Charlie Adams, the skipper, will head over to take it, and they will be playing into the sun in this second half. Charlie Adams and his comrades. Good looking in swinger. Grant stays home, and that could have gone anywhere after the deflection. Mong trying to get a touch to it already with a goal tonight. Some good hold-up play. Adams uses Kostashin as a decoy. And now Ricketts. Kostashin, the reigning USL League One player of the month in April. Mayaka dropping deep, the Clemson product. Formerly of Huntsville City as well as Crown Legacy. This is clipped in towards the back stick, and Ricketts was waiting for it. Instead, Kostashin. And we'll do it all over again.
The tempo's a lot quicker there for AC Boise, not allowing Naples to close down the space. You change your point of attack. You bring out Farine in another dangerous set piece as Charlie Adams stands over it.
Adams spent last year with Colorado Springs Switchbacks in the championship. Now making home in the Treasure Valley as he is attempting to pick out the back post again for Dangler. Circles back around to Nick Moon. Mayaka. Adams. Dennis Kostashin being encouraged forward by the technical staff. Great looking ball, and how on earth did that get through without a touch from somebody in a black kit? Can't ask for a much better delivery.
Wonderful ball for Kostashin here. Just inviting someone to get on the end of it. Notice the location of where it bounces. That is 4 yards out. First it's Dangler Among, and you're unable to get on the end of it. But what a terrific ball in terms of the location.
Here comes Naples on the other end, and that's handled comfortably by Cleaver, and that's the first time that he's really had to get down to make a save tonight.
Give credit to Grant as well, understanding that AC Boise has stepped really high. If you play over the press, you allow Farine to go in. And what a wonderful first touch this is for Farine.
And there's a really frantic and open pace to this opening juncture of the second half.
Good recognition from the young goalkeeper to hit this ball over 60 yards on a dime, but that is a wonderful first touch from Farine to beat in yet. And then as you come in, just not enough conviction on the strike. Second guesses himself, Farine, as he played across, but you need to go low and hard to that far post to put more pressure on Cleaver there.
Well, it looked eerily similar to the goal that Naples actually ended up conceding against Spokane in the opening parts of that game, and that's going to be another yellow card to a member of Naples. This time it's going to be to Torres. So that's now 3 players from Matt Poland's group that are on a card at the moment.
A player that is learning on the job how to play a right back. Watch the right arm come across Bodily here. But clever from Bodily, he goes down, he makes the most of it. There is contact there, but you force the issue, and you get Torres in the book.
Ladies and gentlemen, the referee has issued a yellow card to FC Naples, number 21, Mark Torres.
So these opportunities continue to stack up for Boise. Another chance for Adams on that left peg, and they're starting to knock on the door, and he's really getting calibrated, Adams, and his teammates are trying to figure out where it's going to land.
Has eyes for this near zone as Ricketts is just trying to come across the face of the goal of Naples and flick it on.
Cerro trying the return for Backstein, but instead it's just thumped away by Jake Dangler, the former FC Naples man.
It's better recognition there for Naples. Notice how they play one ball short to bait Boise to step in, and then they play direct into Backstein and Cerro. That is a tactical adjustment coming from Matt Poland to start this second half.
Messias turning, now Backstein touches it along, great, trying to thump it across, and it's blocked by Nick Moon before it could challenge anyone inside the penalty area.
Good movement from the big man Backstein, just popping off the back line, getting the ball in the half turn, but you need him to be a little bit more aggressive there at pulling the trigger. You have a shot, you take the shot, especially early in this second half.
Bit of a senseless foul there by Blake Bodily. First ever signing in AC Boise history. He has vast experience at the USL Championship level, as well as a number of appearances in Major League Soccer. We asked Nate Miller as to whether or not he's sort of got a rock star mentality being in his hometown, and he said, and I quote, "He's living his best life, Blake Bodily."
As he should.
Still waiting for his first goal, though, in an AC Boise kit. But he's defending his own goal at the moment. And this is a teasing delivery all the way to the back stick, and Ricketts calling everyone off, as is Cleaver. And it's out of play for a goal kick. Musa Enya. Ricketts, who had the assist on the Thomas Amon goal. Nick Moon trying to find an option inside. Great little touch. Bodily couldn't quite win it. You can hear the call of press coming from the Boise technical area. Scrambling to try to win the ball back, but FC Naples embodying composure. Macias trying to stay on his feet and win the free kick.
Such a good start to this second half for Naples. Just so much more comfortable on the ball. Understanding that you keep the game simple, you make Boise do all of the running. And if you have success finding that initial line of pressure and breaking it, then you can really find backseat in the ball.
Trouble here for Boise as Naples making life difficult, and we're able to win the ball back inside the penalty area. Now Gray, and he is stood up by Nick Moon. Really good matchup there, and Moon is able to win out. And the switch of play only finds the hands of Jonathan Cleaver. Just amazing. Third division soccer in America sounding like this on a Wednesday night in the capital of Idaho. Ownership group that has really put a ton of resources and time and thought into this project, but also some big names helping fund it as well. Sofia Huerta of the U.S. Women's National Team, as well as Seattle Reign, a part of the ownership group, as is former U.S. Men's National Team goalkeeper Casey Keller. And they are onto something special here in the City of Trees, and they're able to win the ball back yet again. And Naples, while they're trying to find their footing, just being outworked right now by Boise, it seems. Although a stumble from Bodley, and now Gray takes over. Backstein. Trying to wiggle his way through, but runs into a wall of black kids. Adams. Mayaka so smooth on the ball. I think that pass was to you, Ricky.
I'm ready.
Are you ready?
I don't know.
It's not what your old coach Nate Miller said.
Yeah, no. The cobwebs are definitely there.
Good first touch from Kostashin. Dangler so composed on the ball along the back line, and Mayaka carrying the ball some 50 yards at the moment. Trying to get Kostashin on it. Stays in place. Cisneros turns Kostashin and says, see you later.
Kostashin has struggled to find the tempo of this game.
And that's Enya's going to get called for the foul, and Matt Poland wants a yellow card as well.
As Ferrin does win the foot race, there is a little bit of an extension of the arm from Enya here. See, Ferrin makes the most of it, no question about it, but yet you see Matt Poland really animated in his technical area, saying that there needs to be a book or a card shown.
So we're hearing that Hudson Gray is getting set to come on for Ian Cerro.
Really surprised that then he does not see yellow here, because Naples elect to go quick. So if you bring the ball back, you have to show a card.
I'm with you.
A little bit of
Ball whipped in though to a dangerous spot. Dangler wins it. Cerro knocks it down. Gray out of his reach, and this is steered back on frame, but can't find the goal of Cleaver. And here comes that substitute as Hudson Gay, the 25-year-old from Haiti, in his first season with Naples.
Substitution for FC Naples coming into the match, number 12, Hudson Gay. Coming out of the match, number 30,
Actually picked up a red card against Miami FC in USL Cup. He was signed just after preseason on March 14th and attended Colorado State University. Fedin was applying the pressure, and you could see how upset he is with his teammates that nobody else was pressing with him.
It's just so important for both of these sides that if that one of the attackers are going to press, you need to stay compact, because it is so frustrating when you do try to engage the press. You step high and you're just isolated. You're caught on an island. So you have to trust the players ahead of you that they pick and choose the right moments when to step in. And I'll tell you what, this should be going the other way. There is a clear push-off from Cisneros here that catches Jonathan Ricketts.
And again, Naples want to go quickly, and the referee is trying to sort this out. If it's a free kick against AC Boise, he has to let the play be able to continue if he's not going to give out a card.
It's a second time. Watch Cisneros, the left arm, number 3 in a white jersey here, just extend his left arm and pushes Ricketts into O'Connor. So that's a foul on Naples, but yet the referee calls it the other way. Naples again tries to go quick, and he pulls it back without showing a card. So that's the second time that I have a little bit of a question mark regarding, and that's exactly what Matt Pullen was telling the fourth, saying we try to go quick for the second time and you bring it back, but you do not show a card. That should not happen. A little bit of retaliation there from Ricketts.
And Ricketts is going to go into the book, and that's one of the most senseless fouls and yellow cards that you can pick up in the game. And every former player I talk to, Ricky, says, yeah, but you have to do it. I just don't see I don't see a situation where you have to do something like this, because you're frustrated with what's gone on over the past couple of plays, and you put yourself and your team in a more dangerous spot.
That was exactly what he's doing. The ball's gone. Right foot comes across and just simply body checks O'Connor. So now if you are to Naples, you to really test Jonathan Ricketts in this right side of Boise and try to get him in trouble here.
Fedin, excellent move. And he's able to win a corner. He couldn't put the finishing touches on what was just a disgusting move along the byline, getting through Ricketts.
First, it's the extra effort to keep this ball in bounds, and then really soft feet and a tight area. Little swivel the hips here. Give credit to Mayaka, the recognition to drop down and deny this ball across.
And the River Guard can start to sense that this might be a pivoting moment in the game. Cisneros, awkward ball. Tangler got a touch to it. Cushion down, Backstein. He'll tee it up from distance. Took a deflection on the way in off Krul. And that's Thomas Among, who's down again for Boise. Let's take a look at the Best Western upcoming schedule, and some really fun matchups coming up here on CBS Sports Network as well as ESPN2. We've got Richmond and Charleston in the USL Cup in Group 6. Meanwhile, Louisville City and Tampa Bay Rowdies. How good of a game is that at the championship level? And then you've got Forward Madison and Fort Wayne on June 17th. If you throw that in with a little bit of World Cup as it'll be officially underway. We are less than a month away from the World Cup kicking off, and then you've got all of these fantastic games going on as well. And our friends at CBS Sports earlier this week releasing the talented crew of broadcasters and pundits that are going to be covering the World Cup this summer. And you can follow along on Paramount Plus, the Golazo Network, and the like. Who do you like to win the World Cup this year?
I think maybe France. I think that's a obvious one. France. Portugal has a really strong team.
Our producer is saying Portugal in our ear right now.
Yeah, so what about you? What do you think?
You're just trying to suck up to him right now. You got a little crown on your nose.
Hey, he's the one who makes me look good, right? So.
As long as Lamine Yamal is healthy, I don't see anybody beating Spain.
Okay.
How about that?
And congratulations to you. You will be on the call for the World Cup as well.
All right, settle down. No need for all that.
Just trying to be a good teammate.
I appreciate it.
Just trying to be a good teammate.
You always are. That's what Nate Miller said about you. He said he's not fit, but he's a great teammate.
Cannot run.
Good thing that's not a big part of this game.
Yeah, you're right.
It was a decent idea on the dummy, but instead it might spell out a counterattack the other way for FC Naples. Broken up by Mayaka. Shouts for a handball from Backstein. O'Connor. And Thomas Amon caught a little nick there from Mark Tareas. So it's going to be Euler, Gasso, and Yaya coming on for Nate Miller. So that means Musa Enya, Thomas Among are all going to make way. Gasso replacing Charlie Adams is bodily drawing some attention.
Going to be a different balance now, specifically centrally for Boise, as Mayaka and Gasso play the double pivot role. They're going to share the difference. Mostly it was Charlie Adams venturing forward, Philip Mayaka dropping a little bit deeper. But Gasso's going to give you the work rate to cover box to box. Yaya's going to play.
There's a little bit of afters there from Master Antonio, and the Boise faithful here are not too happy with the Italians' retributional acts. And he's saying he did it first. And Yaya is going to go into the book.
Yaya thinks he wins this ball initially clean. Just trying to pick the pocket of Torreyes here. I'll tell you what, I agree with Yaya here. Not a lot of contact whatsoever. He does not take kindly to it. Master Antonio thinks there's a little bit of time wasting. He pushes through the back of the sub coming in. And it is Yaya that gets into the book. The second player joining Jonathan Ricketts on a yellow card for Boise.
So Yaya has only been on the field for about 30 seconds, goes into the book. Only about 20 minutes remaining. The temperature levels have started to rise a little bit in terms of the tempers on the field. And here's Gay trying to send it into the middle, shouts for a handball initially, but instead it's going to go out for a corner, and now the official is going to trot over to the technical area and probably issue out a yellow card to somebody. It might be Nate Miller. And indeed, Nate Miller does go into the book. He was warned late in the first half to settle down by the fourth official as well as the head official. And finally, the dam is broken.
Boise head coach Nate Miller.
Corner sent in, batted away by Cleaver. Brought down by Tadeus. Put back in. Yep. Fedin thought about hitting it on the first time, but a teammate was in the way. Now the Colombian trying to turn the corner. He's taken off the ball by Mayaka. And here comes Boise. Yeah. Cisneros with a heavy challenge, and that's just outside the penalty area. And he's going to see a yellow card.
The sub has made an impact. He's the one putting pressure here on Farina as Gasto comes across. Nothing in that whatsoever. And phenomenal little play from Philip Mayaka to find Kosterson in between the pockets, and Yaya comes in, drop of the shoulder, and moves the ball quickly before Cisneros comes in. It's clear contact. But what a positive impact he has made since stepping onto this field in terms of his energy and giving Boise some life here.
Almost going to be a makeshift corner now for Boise, given the angle of this free kick. This game is hanging on a knife's edge. It really does feel like it could go either way. FC Naples haven't generated a ton, but as long as they continue to hang around at one goal, they might be able to nick something out of this game. Meanwhile, for Boise, really good opportunity to slam the door shut on a group that is tired, on a group that hasn't won since April 11th and is desperate to get back home to Southwest Florida after what has been a daunting road swing. Kostashin trying to put it on frame, but can't challenge the 18-year-old goalkeeper Josh Grant.
Ladies and gentlemen, substitutions coming in for FC Naples. Coming into the game, number 8, Juan Osorio. Coming out of the game, number 23.
So Juan Osorio coming on and Aiden Macias coming off. Osorio, 22-year-old, originally from New York City. Signed from San Antonio. It's a decent idea from Ricketts. Long way to run for Yaya.
If you are going to play direct, and if you are Naples into backseat, the supporting players need to provide a little bit more of coverage and support underneath him, because right now every single time he gets on the ball, he's versus the back three of Boise here. So Farine and Gay now need to drop underneath and supply support to the big man, because he's been isolated over the last 10 minutes here.
Fedin. Heavy touch from Gay. Bodily asking for it. Kroll skipping away from the initial challenge. Now Nick Moon trying to go over the top. Boise looking to make it 3 wins out of their first 4 games here at AC Boise Stadium. Hudson Gay trying to get out of trouble, spins Kostichin. And Kostichin forced to foul him. And he goes into the book. Or pardon me, that's Dominic Gasso. So it is Gasso goes into the book. 22-year-old from Grand Block, Michigan.
Good little turn here from Gay.
Ladies and gentlemen,
You see clear pull of the jersey, deserving of a yellow card from Gasso. Cannot be that aggressive to get turned that easily if you are playing in that central midfield role.
Header won again by Boise. Ferrin. Here's Ferrin, matched up with Ricketts. Wanting to cut in on that right foot, going for the curler, but blocked before it could get to Cleaver. Miscommunication between Mayaka and company. Back out for Chris Garcia. Or pardon me, that was Osorio. Osorio again, attempting to find Ferrin. Kostichin.
That's a really
couldn't get there. Tristan Rose making up for what was probably some poor defensive play on the opening goal, but might have saved one there.
Phenomenal positioning from Rose here, because Yaya's in if this ball is a little bit longer from Kostichin. Naples needed to be careful here. Yes, you're trying to find the equalizer, but you do not need to do it in the next 2 to 3 minutes here. Because right now they're committing a little bit too much going forward, leaving them exposed in terms of transitional moments. Good play here.
Great flick from Torres, and Kevin O'Connor is away. Backstein was asking for it. Ferrin now to Backstein. On the turn, was he fouled? He keeps the play alive. Still a chance here for Naples, and the shot over the crossbar and into the river guard.
But it's simply back-to-back actions that Torres does a phenomenal job with his quick feet in tight spaces. Play this ball into Torres, and noticed a little bit of a back heel here, just releasing O'Connor. But also notice Gasso and Philip Mayaka are caught way too high, and that allows O'Connor to come across. Good first touch of ball here from Ferrin.
Number 17, Joseph
And another nice little nutmeg from Torres.
14, Nick Moon.
Gasso's having a really difficult time just getting up the tempo and finding his positioning as a sub number 8 for Boise.
And Joe Hansen coming on and replacing Nick Moon. Long ball the other way, Kostichin. Bodied for a moment by Rose, now Kostichin trying to go for goal. And it'll be a corner to the home side, and Kostichin trying to get the crowd back into it.
Understanding that Naples are going to throw numbers forward, they're going to have a high line, so that leaves real estate going back the other way. So Yaya and Kostichin need to stay as high as they possibly can to try to hunt down any ball pumped into the green grass. Another wonderful opportunity to put pressure on the young goalkeeper and this Naples back line.
You can really sense the big moments from the noise from the River Guard and the rest of the 7,000 who are here at AC Boise Stadium. And the referee going to have to sort out some of the off-the-ball shenanigans that were unfolding before the ball was even in play. That's Juan Osorio and Jake Dangler who are getting a stern talking to. Outswinger, Dangler trying to get there. Grant stays home. Had to be played by Taylor Gray. About 10 minutes remaining. You just get the feeling there's at least one more big chance left for either side. Should be a handball on Yaya, and indeed it is. And Tuesday at 8 Eastern, catch a U.S. Open Cup quarterfinal showdown on the pitch as Orlando City hosts Atlanta United. See which team will advance to the semifinals right here on CBS Sports Network and streaming live on Paramount Plus. So we're down to the final 8 in the 111th edition of the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup. That's one of just 4 matchups. San Jose, Colorado, a really good matchup out west. Earthquakes have been one of the biggest surprises in MLS this year, going from a non-playoff team to top of the table. Couple of great moves on the outside, peel back across, and it's in. Own goal on Naples, it's created. And finished off. Nothing the young goalkeeper could do about it. And AC Boise are on their way to yet another win at home. Joe Hansen, the chief architect, over on the byline.
Top side of your screen, notice how wide Hansen stays. That opens up the passing lane into him, but also gives him space to attack Master Antonio and this back line of FC Naples. And as he takes this second touch right there, draws in Naples, and as Rose comes across trying to cut back, this pass is an uh-oh moment for the center back. But this is all about a sub coming in and just making a play and being aggressive to getting the double for AC Boise here at home.
22-year-old Joe Hansen from Whitehorse, Yukon, Canada. Tristan Rose is going to be credited with the own goal, and he's had a bit of a rough go of it tonight. Could probably put a lot of the blame on him for the opening goal that was created by Ricketts, scored by Among.
Joseph Hansen.
Not a ton he could do about that play as the ball was coming in from Hansen at a really quick and tight angle as the offside flag is going to be up. By the way, Joe Hansen, first player in the Canadian Premier League, and that's where he came over from, Valor FC, to come out of Yukon, Canada. And the River Guard, once again, up to the usual tricks, helping create this incredible atmosphere which becomes so difficult to walk into as an opposing team. They remain one of 5 unbeaten teams at home with a minimum of 1 game played at home this year. And they'll have picked up 13 points out of a possible 15 if they're able to button this up here tonight. And here come the two substitutes. And Miglietti. And William. Full name is William Arevalo. Goes by William on the back of his jersey, and that's typically what we like to refer to the players as.
Naples coming into the match.
As Miglietti replacing Backstein.
Number 19, William Arevalo. Coming out of the match, number 21, Mark Correas.
Hansen, who created the second goal, able to hold things up against Gray. About 5 minutes remaining, and Naples in danger of dropping yet another game in league play. It'd be 3 on the bounce. Again, haven't won since April 11th. And all that turnover, losing the likes of Carson Henderlong, Breck Evans, Gustavo Fernandez, Jaden Oden.
Another substitution for
as this cross comes in, Hansen was there and perhaps got his wires crossed with Yaya.
Coming out of the match, number 18, Dominic Brockstein.
And is this stretch indicative of a different type of Naples we're seeing here in 2026, or just a bad stretch at the moment?
You have to think it's a bad stretch, because you look over the course of the existence of this SC Naples side, call it about a year and a half. This is the first time we've seen a dip in consistency for this side. So yes, we've talked about the injuries. As you see, Philip Mayaka get turned, picking up a yellow card. And now you have Gasso and Mayaka both in the book, playing in that central role for Nate Miller and company. But speaking to Matt Pohl and speaking about this form, he seems really relaxed and confident, saying, look, it's just these simple things that we need to do better. You just look at the goals that they've conceded here today. One, it's poor defending on that back post as Ricketts comes across. And second, it's just a mistake here from Rose, as he is down on the ground, just trying to backtrack. And take those two plays out of the game. It's a completely different conversation we're having. So again, box defending needs to be a lot cleaner for this Naples side. And as you see, excuse me, it is Kroll that gets pulled out.
Card to AC Boise, number 16, Jake Kroll.
So Tristan Rose still getting treatment from the athletic trainer at FC Naples. As Juan Osorio stands over the set piece for Naples as they try to pull one back and maybe just put a little bit of pressure on Boise in the closing moments of this one. Big collision there between Dangler and Cleaver. Now into space for Kostashin. Yaya was waiting and trying to hold his line. And now he's allowed to run, taken down from behind, but the referee says it's a clean challenge. And the referee is now going to stop play. As we've got an injured Jake Dangler down on one side of the field, and Yaya was injured on the other.
As a goalkeeper, you are taught when you do come off of your line, teammate or not, you have to clear everything that comes in front of you. That is a lot of contact, but that is good goalkeeping from Cleaver. And as Gray comes in, notice the change of direction of the ball to clean challenge. Great recovery from Gray. Just to push this ball wide, it's a clean challenge and good no call.
And so Kostashin is going to come off, and Jackson Stevens will come on, the 17-year-old from Boise.
Coming into the match, number 27, Jackson Stevens. Coming out of the match, number 10, Dennis Kostashin.
And what a moment for the 17-year-old Stevens, coming onto the field for a professional club in his hometown that, of course, did not exist when he was growing up in this part of the country. Came up through the Austin FC Academy, played for Austin FC 2 in 2025 under an amateur agreement, which allows him to play and train with the MLS Next Pro side, but also maintain his college eligibility. And now getting a chance with AC Boise. As we'll have 4 minutes of stoppage time at the minimum at the end of these 90 minutes.
Of added time in the second half.
Oyler beaten to the punch. And Naples starting to look on the front foot, with Boise dropping a little bit deeper, especially after some of the substitutions. Clipped in. Dealt with by Krull. Knocked away by Oyler. Now Mayaka. Hearing that the attendance tonight at AC Boise Stadium is 7,203 patrons to see yet another home game for the expansion side in USL League One, and another sellout.
And from minute 1 to now minute 92, there has been non-stop noise coming from these fans. Talk about a hostile environment, trying to make this place a fortress where teams hate to come and play, because you don't only have to battle the 11 on the field, but the thousands in attendance. What a phenomenal atmosphere this is here at AC Boise Stadium.
All these people paid all this money to watch you guys. Oh, the star of the show. Amazing.
Soria will clean it up as Omar Yaya thought that he might be able to sneak in. Hudson Gay's header in the middle of the field, picked up. That's Jackson Stevens, the teenager, coming and cleaning things up for his hometown side. Stevens, little daisy cutter out wide. Crunching challenge from Taylor Gray. And there's room to play going the other direction for Naples, but they are running out of time. Boise are going to start out this 4-game homestand with a win, and then they'll take on Monterey Bay in USL Cup Fort Wayne, and then Sarasota Paradise. All right here in the City of Trees. And if they can continue their home form up, they might be able to really build some momentum both in Cup and League play. Meanwhile, for Naples, they will be glad to see a plane ride back home. And that's going to do it full time. Another sellout at AC Boise Stadium. Another win for the expansion side. 2-0 over Naples. Battered and bruised, but still 3 points in their back pocket. An own goal from Tristan Rose was able to seal the deal, but the opening goal from Thomas Among in the 8th minute proved to be the game winner. Now 4 matches unbeaten at home, outscoring their opponents 9-2 in front of the River Guard. And it's another drop result, make it now 6 winless in a row for FC Naples. Blake Bodley and company with another big result as they continue to climb the table in USL League One. Ricky Lopez-Espin, your thoughts?
And for this AC Boise side, domination on both boxes. They were so much better for Nate Miller the first half. They really dictated tempo, and then they had to grind in this second half. Showed a little bit of personality, but the subs came on and provided a positive impact deserving of all 3 points.
So Thomas Among with his first goal of the season, the man formerly of New Mexico, now making the capital of Idaho home. And AC Boise flying on their way to 3 points. Naples leave the Treasure Valley empty-handed. Full time here at AC Boise Stadium, and they'll be able to unravel their post-game winning traditions with another W here in the Treasure Valley. 2-0 is the final score over FC Naples. Tyler Terrence along with Ricky Lopez-Espin. If you're just tuning in, we'll hope you get caught up because It was another really quick start for Nate Miller's group. 8 minutes in, Thomas Among with his first of the season.
Yeah, you start on this left-hand side and you allow Charlie Adams to support Nick Moon here, but this clip ball to the back post, really well done. And then the composure from Jonathan Ricker to take his first touch, to have a cup of coffee, pick up his head, and find Thomas Among wide open from about 3 yards out. The lack of defending is just so confusing for this FC Naples side. It's simply not good enough, and you're going to get punished every single time that happens.
And this is an FC Naples side that came into tonight tied for the league lead in clean sheets with 4. And then this was arguably the best chance of the night, coming off of a goal kick for Andres Farin and company.
Yeah, good recognition from Grant to go over the press, but just not convincing whatsoever for Farin. Does a good job to take his first touch out of his body, but then you see Boise doing a good job at turning 1 goal into 2. Hansen stays wide, the ability to run at this back line and really just sidestep Master Antonio. But as he takes that touch right there, he overcommits Rose, and he continues to drop. Number 31, center of your screen, tries to cut out the cutback, and it's an uh-oh moment for defender. Ends up in the back of the net, and that's 2 goals for AC Boise.
That's Joe Hansen, the substitute, making things happen. Here's how the numbers shook out. Again, the possession number, not necessarily surprising whatsoever. And it was far from AC Boise's best stuff, which was probably the first half against Chattanooga a couple of weeks ago. But this is what really good teams do. They're able to find results at home when they don't have their best stuff.
Exactly, the ability to grind out results and deal with a little bit of adversity for this Boise side, because once Naples shifted into a backboard, they didn't really have the success that we saw early in that first half, but they were able to galvanize the troops. Nate Miller made some really timely subs that made an impact, and in the end, deserving of all 3 points.
So a miscue inside of the first 10 minutes, and then an own goal in the final 10 minutes is the undoing of Matt Poland's group, who will head back to the southwest of Florida with their tails between their legs. But for everyone here at USL and CBS, we say so long from the Treasure Valley, where AC Boise are able to pick up all 3 points yet again at home as the River Guard protect their home turf once more. For Ricky Lopez Espin, Tyler Terrence saying so long for now. The final score, Boise 2, Naples 0. We'll talk to you soon. Well, it was another massive opportunity tonight at home in the capital of Idaho for AC Boise, and they were able to come up with a big victory and a clean sheet at home against an FC Naples side that was in their shoes just a year ago as an inaugural side in USL League One. Tyler Terrence, along with everybody's favorite USL vet, Ricky Lopez-Espin. And this game, I think, went according to plan a little bit. Matt Poland, once again, is going to be disappointed with his team's performance, but a solid performance again at home for Nate Miller's group.
For FC Naples, it starts with the defending or lack thereof in terms of their box defending and organization. You just notice the amount of space that Nick Moon has to pick up his head, allow Charlie Adams to come in, and just look at the lack of defending. Again, every single player in a white jersey on their heels get caught ball watching, and the most dangerous player, Thomas Among, just oh my God, can we do that again? Sorry, fuck. I know. My bad.
Here in the capital of Idaho, the national spotlight was on AC Boise Stadium, and the home side was able to pick up a huge 3 points in a battle of two top six sides in the League One standings. AC Boise and FC Naples finishes 2-0 in favor of the home side. Tyler Terrence, Ricky Lopez-Espin. And this game probably went according to plan in terms of how it played out, possession and everything like that. Disappointing for Matt Poland's group, and if you're Nate Miller, not your best stuff, but that's what good teams do.
For AC Boise, it was the ability to really capitalize in the attacking 18-yard box, and it starts really early in this first half. Notice as this ball comes to the left-hand side, how much time and space Nick Moon has to pick up his head. Charlie Adams comes centrally. Nice little clip ball to this back post, but the time that Ricketts has to take a first touch in the attacking 18-yard box, pick up his head, and just simply find Among, who is 3 yards out and nowhere inside between the defender for FC Naples. 1-0 AC Boise.
So Thomas Amon gets his first of the season inside of the first 10 minutes. Another strong start at home for Boise. And then we head to the second half, and this was the best chance of the night and arguably one of the only chances of the night for the visitors.
And it starts with a really quick goal kick from the young goalkeeper Grant to pick out Fareem, but just caught between two minds. Is he playing it across? Is he trying to go for that far post? But turning one goal into two was always going to be important for Nate Miller and company as this ball goes wide. Hansen doing a really good job at attacking Master Antonio. And notice the soft feet, but this touch right here is just so influential because it draws more defenders for FC Naples back, and Rose at a moment puts the ball into his own net.
So Tristan Rose credited with the own goal, but Hansen very much the chief architect on what was the finishing dagger for Boise and for the River Guard at home.